It's Art94, and this week, if you play the Crew 2, you can grab yourself the Indian Scout the Cruise Edition. Now, if you go to your stuff, like your catalogues, we go to Indian Scout here, the Indian motorcycles, which is these ones. There's a few different variants, but obviously, you have the Scouts, and then if you play the Summit this week and unlock the Summit, you get this Scout, the Cruise Edition. So you can see it's all like, you know, a bit lower and all cool and fancy because it's the whole like the cruiser vibe. I wish they had the circle like on the front, but what we're going to do is we're going to play the event, this one, and also when we go to Harley Davidson, which is over here, we're going to drive this one as well in this video, I believe, because they're both part of the Summit. So we're going to do that because they're the two bikes you can get. The Harley Davidson Iron, which is this one here, very cool. And we're going to go, what we're going to do after I've done all these events is, after I've done the two events, I'm going to go on to the Crew Motorfest and we're going to take a look. So, but first off we're going to start here. As you can see, if you get silver, you get the Harley Davidson Iron 883. And then if you get gold, you get the Speedster Underglow that goes on cars. You might be able to go on bikes as well, but you'd never know, sometimes it doesn't. And then you get the Platinum car, the Platinum bike, not the car, sorry. But that's the one you get from this Summit. So if you don't have it on the Crew Motorfest, this is probably the only way you're going to get it, unless they add it to a main stage or they add it somewhere else you can get it. But as far as I know, it's usually through these events. So we'll go for that. And the other weeks is stuff like this. I may do a video on them, I may not. So just bear this in mind, because the Bugatti Devo Emerald Storm Edition's coming, which is the green one, not the orange one. So if you got the orange one, that's the, I don't know what that's called. It's either the Blaze or the Flame. I might even be wrong with that. It might even be the Fury edition. I can't remember though. But today what we're going to do is we're going to do this one, and then we're going to hop up to this one, just so you can see both bikes on this game. And then I'll do a race with both of the bikes in the other game, because on Motorfest I can do a race where it switches between the both bikes. So we'll probably go through that route and do it that way. But it's going to let us drive this. I assume I can't use my own one, even though I do own it. But we're going to do this. I'm not going to do all the events because I don't need to get anything in this Summit this week. But we're just going to run through the event and you can see how it goes.
Happy winning thoughts.
Oh, it's this event, the one with the train. I do love this actually. It's pretty cool because you're kind of battling the train as he goes above you. Which we're going to be able to see from behind us because we're a little too fast for it. We'll do a bit of first person. I've always liked first person on the bikes in this game. As you can see, we're going to battle for the train on the left hand side of us. We've got to pay attention to the road because this road is not just a straight road. So you've got to pay attention to some of your braking points. But overall, the events on this are pretty simple. And you can tell by the way this game is. The bike does not sound very loud at all. But considering nobody else probably not many people play this game anymore because it's obviously an older game, and you know the competition just happens to be less. So if you really want this bike and you're into bikes and stuff, or you're just expanding your collection, then you know head over to the Crew like today or whenever you've got the chance. It obviously went live today, but you have a week, so you have from the 20th of May to the 27th of May. I recommend you getting it done before the 26th because you don't want to take your chances, because for me it ends about 4 o'clock in the morning because the next Summit starts at 5, but they have a maintenance hour, I guess is what they usually do. Not always, sometimes it's just instant, but a lot of time there is like a waiting period. At least on the Crew 2 there was always a waiting period. I haven't been staying up to play them very often because obviously life gets in the way. But you know, it's a fun game to still play, and you can pick it up fairly cheap nowadays. So if you need like vehicles like this, it's probably worth it giving it a go. But obviously this is stock, so we're not going to be going very fast. But obviously after these events, I'm going to go on to the Crew Motorfest, and we're going to take a look at customization of things, so you can get a little look at what you want. If you want to skip to the end of the video, then feel free to do that. But if you're enjoying the video so far, leave us a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're headed getting closer to 1,000 subscribers. It'd be nice when we hit that. I'm going to try and keep uploading, giving you more content. It's just I've got to get into the flow of things again. I have been slacking, and that's all on me. I've got no one else to blame. But I do enjoy. I used to play the crew a lot. I used to post a lot of content on the crew, as in the crew 2, that is. Because this is what the whole reason why I started the channel is because of this game. Because I just love playing it, and then making content was just, you know, it was just entertaining for me. Now it's a bit annoying occasionally, but I still like making videos. But it's one of them. And we're gonna head towards the finish line now. 3 minutes for a race isn't too bad. It's a bit of a long race-ish, but you know, could be worse on the crew because of how big the map is on the crew too. And then we'll hop on to the next event now. So we'll just skip all this because it doesn't really matter. It matters if you're going for the score, but I'm not. So you can see it's American Bikers, and then we're going to do this race, and then we're going to switch over to Motorfest and take a look at customization, and then do one race in there on that game. See if you can tell the difference between the sounds. But here we go. I used to ride this bike all the time actually. But the bike I've probably put the most miles in is the Harley Davidson, that big one, because
Come on, you can do it.
there was one event where you drive for 10 minutes and you just keep doing that and you get a fair bit of money. And that's the way I used to grind the money. I don't know why. Probably wasn't the most effective way of getting money. Because the effective way I've noticed from playing this game again, I'd say recently this year, even towards the end of last year, was you do the events where it's like the new events, them pixelated type of events, and you can run through them in like less than a minute, some of them. But it's like 1 minute 59, something like that. Some of them are really quick, and you go through that, you're getting like 20 grand a pop, and it's like, you know, you get all your parts on it, and it's just, you get a lot of money. That's what I was using to grind the method, but I don't need money on this game anymore. I don't play it, and I own pretty much all the vehicles. I don't think there's probably 1 or 2 vehicles I don't own, which will be Summit vehicles. But everything I can buy, I'm pretty sure on this game I bought it, every single thing. On Motorfest there's a lot more things I need to buy. Maybe I should build up that collection before GTA 6 comes out, that is. Because when GTA 6 comes out, I want to be making content on that game. So you know, if you're here for that and you enjoy my content, enjoy me speaking a load of nonsense a lot of the time, then you know there's going to be guides when it comes to GTA 6. I plan on doing vehicle customization, little guides. I wouldn't say funny videos because I'm not that funny when I make videos. But you know, it's one of them, humour is subjective. Some people might find me hilarious, some people might not. But you know, it's one of them. But I do enjoy this game. It's just that we don't play it that much because of the way it is. It's just, I'm going to get more views on Motorfest, I guess. But even then, my channel doesn't get that many views, so we're just working towards it, see if we can build a community here or something. And seeing if you like listening to me just ramble on, I suppose. Obviously, this race is longer than the last race, and we're in a custom vehicle this time. So let's go in a bit of first person on this bike. Because, you know, the crew does a very good first person, and this is what the crew should be. Focus a lot more on bikes and things as well. Not more than the cars, obviously. But, you know, I'd like to see them try and add a bike in like every 3 months or so. Every 3-4 months, or even when they add in the cars, if they add 3 cars, add in 1 bike. Or for every 5 cars, add in a bike. Because it would be cool. There's a load of bikes they could add. They've got the Suzuki brand, so they could do some more Suzukis. They got Kawasaki's. We've only got like one Kawasaki. They could do some more of them. So that's a bit annoying. I can't. It might not be Kawasaki actually. It's a different brand. Yamaha. That's the one. Yamaha. There's only 1 bike. What are we doing there? There's loads of Yamahas. You got the older ones and retro things. And I can't remember, I don't know what new Yamahas there are, but I know there's some cool ones. So they should go and get some of them. You know, we don't have many Harleys in the game either. They could add the collection of that. So bikes are a thing that I think they should put more focus into. But obviously people don't care for bikes too much. But you know, there's a market for everything, so they should. But now we finish this event. So get on the game, on the Crew 2, and try and get that car because you can build up your collection. Even if you don't like bikes, maybe this will make you like bikes, but you never know. So we're going to head over to Motorfest now, so let's go there. Right then, now we're on the Crew Motorfest, so let's take a look at the customization of this one. We are going to change colour because of the way it is. Obviously I've already customised it, but you can have, I'm going to do red. And then we're going to see what we can put on. So you can, obviously you start with this. And there's a load of different options. So you can have the skull on it. We're going to go with the chrome one. Then seats. So you start off with this. And then you choose whatever. Which one do we think that's called? Let's just put this one on. Variant. So you can come stock with this. You can have live to ride on the side. So we're probably going to do that one because why not? Rims. So you come stock with the black ones. But I'll just put them on down because they look fine. Swing arm, so it just changes the suspension and makes the caliper red. Forks, so you can change the forks to whatever you want. You can have the old school ones, the riser bars. These are what it comes stock with, or you can have the straight bars. I kind of like the riser bars though, but then you don't get the red caliper, so we're going to go with, just leave it as it is. Side mirrors, so you can have them on or off, we're going to leave them off. Exhaust, we're just going to keep it as that because that's the coolest looking one I think. And then your rear lights, you can have them wider or them ones, so we're just going to leave them as they are. Pretty cool. Vanity options, you can do smokes, you can do nitrous, you can do underglow, and obviously you can do your horns, but we're going to leave it as that for now. And then we're going to take a look at the next one, which is the Indian motorcycle, or motorbikes, I don't know why I said that. And it's the cruiser edition we're taking a look at, which is the different version of this one. So we can see there's no customization options, which is very unfortunate. But you can do your nitrous, underglow if you choose. We'll just put that one on for now. And the horns. That's it. And you can do liveries. So the exclusive one is this, but obviously you can take it off if you want to. So that's interesting. But yeah, that's all. So we're going to take it to a race now and see if you like how they are, because we're going to do this race here because it allows us to switch between them. So we're going to go for this bike, the Harley Davidson Iron 883. We're going to select that one, and then we're going to go to here and we're going to run the Scout Cruiser Edition. Now we're going to make sure we've upgraded this one because for some reason it wasn't upgraded, but there we go. Now they should be both upgraded, I believe. We'll just quickly check that. Yep. And then we'll go back down to the Indian ones. There we go. And there. So now let's go. See if you can notice if they sound different on this game, or do they sound exactly the same? They should sound different. It looks smaller in this game for some reason. So yeah, you can see the lights come out the eyes. This is a pretty cool bike actually, but this isn't the bike you're here for. The one you want to see is the one we switched to at like 50%, I think it is. Should switch at 50 because then it's halfway through. But as you know, I spoke about it on the crew, but if you didn't, on the crew too. But if you didn't watch that part of the video, and you're only watching this part, then you know, I just think this is a cool bike. They're not very quick, obviously, so because it's straight tier 1, but they are pretty cool. So it's whether you feel like it's worth doing this. If you get this one, it's just because you get silver, but it's a free bike at the end of the day if you don't want to pay for it, and they all transfer over to this game if you get them on the crew, on the crew 2. When I say the crew, I just mean the crew 2. But yeah, when you go on there, you have a week to do it, so I'd get to it, and then we're soon enough we are going to switch to the other bike, and you'll be able to see if that one. It does sound a little different on this game. It's probably a little bit louder. We'll do a bit of first person here, which we did do at the start. And then soon enough we're gonna switch just up here. And then this is a really tight down. It didn't want to turn that, did it? And we switch down as we get round this corner at 50%. And we crashed into the wall. Not ideal, but we did. Now we just head around and go into the next one. It sounds better on this. So they have messed around with the engine sound on this one because this sounds lovely. It's a beautiful looking bike though. I just wish I could have a different headlight at the front because I'm not a fan of that headlight there. Not on this bike. On other bikes, sure. I think it looks really cool on sports bikes, but on this thing, not so much. But it does fit. This bike does feel fairly stable. You can see it wiggling a bit, but that's just the way the bike decides to do things. It doesn't actually affect the way I'm riding it as such. We weren't going to make that then, and these brakes are very sharp, which they should be because of the size of them. It's weird how the front wheel is smaller than the back wheel, but that's interesting. And it looks like he's so low. The bike just looks a bit smaller for some reason. I don't know why. Could be me. It does. Obviously, it's probably not, but it does look a bit small. But you know, it's one of them. If you like this bike and you want to add to your collection, give it a go. You can see the number plate clips through the floor, so they should have really just took the number plate off, because that, what is that? Clipping through the floor. Like, I don't like things like that sometimes, but obviously it's just a game, and obviously you don't want it to ruin the way you drive the bike because you've been there, because you won't be able to drive it. But it handles fairly well in this game. I wouldn't say I've got any problems with it. It's just street tier 1, so it's just a slow bike. That's just unfortunate. It's just the way it is. And then we come across to the finish line now. Just up and over this, a little turn to the left, and there's the finish line. There we go. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hopefully you help onto the crew, get this bike unlocked for yourself. So there we go. So hopefully I'll see you in the next video.